Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One, and I am back with another video. You know what you got to do: rate, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well as the subscribe button, so you'll know when my next video or live stream goes down. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's topic. Before we begin, I first like to say, the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals is coming to a close, in my opinion. Now, I already predicted that it was going to be a short series between the Golden State Warriors and the Portland Trail Blazers, and I also predicted that the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors, they'll possibly go to a Game 6, maybe a Game 7, but the way how things look, that series too can easily go into a five-game series. So you never know. And I'm not gonna really go into too much details about those two conferences, those two series, because the conclusion is Golden State Warriors is going to play either the Milwaukee Bucks, which I think that's who they're going to play, or possibly the Toronto Raptors. Okay, so it's still a toss-up on the Eastern Conference. As far as the Western Conference go, the Portland Trail Blazers haven't shown me anything about them with the capabilities of bouncing back. Okay, so let's get into this latest story that was on Bleacher Report about Tyronn Lue and the Lakers management was pretty much there was at a crossroads as far as Jason Kidd being an assistant coach, which, if you read several articles of this particular topic, even Chris Broussard even mentioned this, as well as Stephen A. Smith, the talking heads, even though I don't put a lot of stock in the talking heads, but pretty much they were saying that that wasn't the reason why Tyronn Lue did not accept the coaching offer to be the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Had more to do with the money aspect and the length of the contract, and he was always down and cool with Jason Kidd being an assistant coach. They have a good relationship. It's not the best relationship when you're talking about Tyronn Lue and Jason Kidd. Now, I always stated this, even in the live stream when I briefly touched on this subject, that people were all up in arms that they did not give Tyronn Lue the job. But these are the same people that talked about how the Los Angeles Lakers are never going to get ahead because they always hiring within. They always either hire former employees or, former people in the office, and they always recycle these people, the players or these personalities. Okay, for an example, they hired Magic Johnson. He played for the Lakers. He even coached for the Lakers. They even hired, and I keep forgetting his name, Byron Scott. They have hired a lot of people that have played or worked in the Los Angeles Lakers organization. So if you're going to keep that energy about that, then why would you want them to hire Tyronn Lue when Tyronn Lue played for the Los Angeles Lakers? Even Rambis played for the Lakers. Magic Johnson played for the Lakers. Byron Scott played for the Lakers. Okay. Jerry West played for the Lakers. You guys don't keep that same energy when you say, well, they're never going to get ahead because they always, hiring people that used to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. But when Tyronn Lue name comes up, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a problem. Okay. So basically, I told you guys why that deal did not go through. And it had less to do with Jason Kidd and had more to do with Tyronn Lue was not too happy with the money that they were offering and the years on the contract. It was just going to be a 3-year deal. Basically, this deal was going to last as long as LeBron James is a player for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I mentioned this in my last video, and I'm going to mention it again. If you look at Tyronn Lue's resume, and I'm not hating on Tyronn Lue, I'm just calling it like I see it. Tyronn Lue has never had this impressive resume where he has multiple, championships, or, he's,
he's this hot big name coach like Pat Riley or Phil Jackson. Okay, and not to say that that's a bad thing, but what I'm trying to say is, why is Tyronn Lue so important that this is the perfect guy to hire for the Los Angeles Lakers? When you look at his resume, the only reason why he won that one championship as the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers had more to do with LeBron James than Tyronn Lue's coaching scheme. Okay, LeBron James have had several no-name coaches make it all the way to either the finals to either win or make it to the finals. Okay, and he has proven that over and over and over. So in today's NBA, and LeBron James has reached this conclusion, you don't have to necessarily have a top name Hall of Fame coach to be in the finals and to win championships. Okay, Steve Kerr, when he got hired as the Golden State Warriors coach, he didn't have any coaching experience. He didn't have this big coaching resume. Now he had a player resume, okay, who have won multiple titles with the Bulls as well as the San Antonio Spurs. He has some experience as an executive. He was an executive for the Phoenix Suns. But other than that, he didn't have this phenomenal coaching record and this impressive record as far as coaching goes, as winning multiple titles. And the Golden State Warriors are doing good with Steve Kerr. Okay, and if you look at all these coaches, they're not these glossy type coaches with Hall of Fame championship background. And you don't need that in today's NBA. If you got talent, particularly if you got talent that can shoot, that can spread, that can spread the court instead of clogging the lanes, you're gonna win. You're gonna be very successful in the regular season, and you're gonna go deep in the playoffs and possibly win a championship. I.e., look at the Golden State Warriors. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, and you can sprinkle in the Philadelphia 76ers. You can also sprinkle in the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics. You can also throw in the Houston Rockets. If you look at these teams that represented in the playoffs, what they all have in common, one or two stars. And like the Utah Jazz, they really don't have stars, but they have a team that can spread the court. They don't have to necessarily clog the lanes. They're great beyond 15 feet, beyond 20 feet. Okay, so you need shooters if you want to win a title in today's NBA. It's not like back in the day with the Showtime Lakers or the Chicago Bulls. Okay, and to a less or the San Antonio Spurs, Houston Rockets. It's not like that no more. Now you can spread. Everybody can shoot now. Even 6'10" guys can shoot. Even 7-footers can shoot beyond 15 feet without having your back against the basket or trying to break down a defender to get an easy dunk or layup. You have to have more in your resume than just that. And that's what a lot of these players have in today's NBA. So you don't necessarily have to have a coach with a Hall of Fame background, with multiple titles, with a coaching scheme. Those days are long and done. They're over with. They're never coming back as long as you have talent, and particularly talent that can shoot. Okay? So having a Tyronn Lue is not going to necessarily contribute to that philosophy. Okay? You can pretty much plug in any coach, to just manage the game, so to say, and make good substitutions. having a coach is not important, not in today's NBA. So you don't have to have and normally coaches manage the team. They manage the time. How many minutes a player should have. They manage the scheme. They manage how they want the scheme set up. Back in the day, the coaches had all the power and all the control. And today, in 2019, it's the player. Okay? So you don't necessarily have to have that in today's NBA. So Tyronn Lue, despite what everybody wants, they wanted Tyronn Lue to be the Lakers coach, and they felt like he would probably have a better, successful tenure with the Lakers than Luke Walton, which he probably would have had. But if he did, but any coach, and even they hired Frank Vogel, any coach, including him, if you do not have talent and talent that can shoot, you're not going to be very successful in these times in this generation of the NBA. Okay, so the fact that people is still making this a big issue is beyond me, because ultimately it's the Lakers. The Lakers getting a coach, that's more of a PR thing than getting ahead. Let's go ahead and hire the coach. Okay, they could have took another couple of weeks to find them another coach if they wasn't too pleased with Frank Vogel. I think they did that more to a PR for publicity, for the fans' sake. Okay, because now they got something concrete as far as coach, instead of all these storylines. Who's going to be the coach of the Lakers? Who's going to be the coach of the Lakers? Is it going to be this guy? Is it going to be that guy? A lot of confusion and doubt in your fan base. Okay, when the most important thing that the Lakers should be worrying about is building a team. And a lot of names have been cropping up, but the one name I want to talk about real fast and real quick is Boogie Cousins. They had the opportunity to sign Boogie Cousins. They chose not to. They passed on Boogie Cousins, okay, for LaVale McGee. And I like McGee's game. I like him as a person. But if you look at McGee and Boogie, they're totally two different animals. I feel like Boogie Cousins could have really contributed and helped the Lakers to have a very successful winning season this year. LaVale McGee, he's athletic, he's young, I get all that, but you can't really necessarily depend on him. And the Lakers had a lot of players on their roster that you can depend on every night. Kuzma is a great player, great shooter, but then there are nights where he struggles. Okay, so you can't really necessarily depend on him. You couldn't necessarily depend on Brandon Ingram because you didn't know what he's going to bring to the table every night. You couldn't necessarily depend on Alonzo Ball because he couldn't stay injured. Okay, so the Lakers need, in this free agency for this summer, they need to hire. They need to sign players that they know for a fact that they can depend on every night. And I'm not saying they have to be perfect, but what I am saying is when you look at the percentages, you can really count on this player more so than not. Okay, so when you hear all these rumors about getting Boogie Cousins, maybe signing Boogie Cousins this offseason, they know for a fact that Kevin Durant's not coming. Klay Thompson is not coming. Okay, but if you can get somebody away from the Golden State Warriors, I feel like Boogie Cousins is probably one of those players that you can get away from the Golden State Warriors. And you keep hearing talks about them trading for Bradley Beal. I don't necessarily see that. Kyle Lowry, you can probably get Kyle Lowry at a basement price, okay, where it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, to get Kyle Lowry. But Kyle Lowry, he's not a very dependable player either. Okay. As far as Leonard, I don't think you're going to get him. It's between the Raptors and also between the Clippers. So the Lakers have to sign free agents. They have to sign smart free agents that they can depend on, that can, fit well with LeBron James. Okay. And I think Frank Vogel has an idea on what type of players that can fit well with LeBron James. You have to admit, LeBron James is getting older. He's not getting younger. Okay. So I feel like the Lakers are going to have a very successful season next year. As far as them going to the playoffs, it's a possibility depending on who they sign this summer. Okay. And I feel like Boogie Cousins is at top of the list. They have a wish list. Okay. But like Kevin Durant and all those other guys, but I don't see them getting those other guys. I don't see Kyrie Irving going to the Lakers, despite him and LeBron James patching things up. I just don't see it. There's a and it's not a possibility. I feel like as far as the Anthony Davis trade, I feel like the Knicks have more. They have pieces that New Orleans like versus what the Lakers can offer to New Orleans, and they have pieces that they have question marks and concerns about, but they have pieces that they like, and most notably that pick. If they can get that pick from New York, they're gonna draft R.J. Barrett, and he's gonna pair up alongside. Oh my God, and I forgot his name that fast, and that Duke sensation. I can't even think of his name right now. It escapes my mind, but y'all know who I'm talking about. And they pair those two guys up because they're former teammates in Duke. So now you have something there that you can build on top of. Okay, so that's all I got to say for today. As far as Tyronn Lue, I understand people want to sign Tyronn Lue and make him be the next coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Zion Williams, thanks, dude. I understand why people want Tyronn Lue to be the next Lakers coach, but to me, it's not that serious. And I feel like Frank Vogel is going to be a better coach than Tyronn Lue because one, Tyronn Lue's familiar with LeBron James, and Frank Vogel is familiar with LeBron James, and two, you have to have pieces that complement LeBron James. And right now they don't have those pieces. So they're going to go into the offseason. They know they got a wish list. They know they want to sign Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Leonard. They want to sign these guys, but they know in the back of their mind these guys probably are not going to come to the Los Angeles Lakers. So you have to have a plan B. And their plan B is getting maybe Boogie Cousins and some other pieces. Okay. JJ Redick. It's a possibility that you can get JJ Redick for, you might have to overpay him, but you can possibly get him. Jimmy Butler. That's another player that you can possibly get. Okay. You might have to overpay for him. Okay. So there's a lot of players in this free agency that the Lakers are going to be looking at. And I feel like you're going to see a different Lakers team, and it's going to be a better team that's going to possibly go deep into the playoffs. I feel like they're going to the playoffs. I just don't know how far they're going to the playoffs, depending on what they have on their roster. Well, that's all I got for today. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Subscribe. It's your boy. I'm out. Y'all have a safe and wonderful weekend. Deuces.